y'all, welcome to another vlog, but it's going to be a little different today because we're going to do a Q&A for the first day of Vlogmas. You guys are always asking me a bunch of questions and I don't always get a chance to answer them. A lot of them are similar, but then there's some that are in there that are different. So let's go ahead and do this Q&A to start off Vlogmas, and then, you know, yeah, you guys will know a little bit more about me. I went ahead and put up like a question thing on Instagram and on YouTube, and you guys asked me the questions. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Y'all already see I have a coffee. It's halfway gone because y'all know I can't not drink it. Like, coffee is so good. If you guys don't like coffee, I don't know what to say. I kind of feel bad because like coffee is just everything to me. That not liking coffee just makes me so sad. But anyway, let's get into the questions. Okay, let's get into the questions. So the ones that are similar, I'm just going to kind of like group together and answer all at one time, because a lot of you guys ask me questions about my career or even like my love life in a sense. So I'll group those together. I don't know how long this video will be, but hopefully it's just long enough for you guys to grab some popcorn, some tea, and chill. You know what I mean? But this is like a different question for me. So the first question that someone asked me is, do I have any phobias? And I do. A lot of people may think this is weird, but I have a phobia to sinks and crumbs. These two phobias will just really send me, like I cringe so badly that I will actually start crying. So if I see anybody like wash their meat in the sink or wash their vegetables in the sink, I will not eat the food. I do not like sinks. Thus, because should I share this? I'll share it. I'm open with you guys. But it was a time period in my life where I lived in a home where the sink didn't work for 2+ years. It wasn't with my mom. It was when I was an adult, and I was on my own with the kids, and the sink stopped working because a pipe bust, and we ended up putting a board over the sink. And because I couldn't afford to get the sink fixed or the pipe fixed, I used to go upstairs in the bathroom and wash my dishes in the bathroom. And from that moment on, I've had a really huge phobia of sinks, and food being in sinks. I guess it's just like how I cope with the trauma of doing that, because it happened for such a long time. Like I would literally take every single dish after cooking dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever, and go to my bathroom tub and wash everything in it. I know it sounds crazy. I know it may sound disgusting to some, but it was my life and it was what I had to do at the time, because like I said, I couldn't afford to fix the pipe, and that's just, it wasn't time. I couldn't afford to move either. So that's just what I had to do. So that's where the sink phobia came from. But as far as crumbs, I don't really know where that came from, but I'm so freaked out. Like for example, a toaster, right? If for some reason I walk past the toaster and I can see crumbs underneath it, I instantly start to shake. If I wipe a counter and I can feel like the crumb grit crumb underneath like the rag or the paper towel, I instantly start to shake, so much so that I'm not joking. I could literally cry. Like I hate it so much. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why, but yes, those are my phobias. Those are my phobias. So to rewind back to the same thing though, thankfully and prayerfully, God has gotten me out of that housing situation and has blessed me 10 and 20 million times over. So that was a time period in my life when I was in my early 20s, and I don't regret that experience because it helped me be who I am today. So every experience that you guys may hear me talk about that may be like, what the heck? I'm okay with that I went through that, because God has made sure he did this thing with me. Okay? All right. Anyway, next question. What is my ethnicity? So for a lot of you guys who watch my YouTube, you would know that my mother's African American and my father's Bengali, because I talked about it before in previous videos. So I am South Asian and African American. My father's from Bangladesh and my mother is born and raised Philadelphia. Yeah. Do you donate clothes that you don't want? So I have gathered up bags and bags and bags of clothes that I've donated or either given away to friends, because I just cannot take it. Even now I have so much stuff that I'm like, I'm ready to call my friends up and say, hey, who wants to come get this stuff? Because it's just so much. And I know that it's an accumulation of me getting PR, but also things that I buy myself that say I may have worn a few times and say I can't see myself wearing this again, or maybe even last year, and for some reason I hold on to it a lot. lot. So I have actually learned more recently to donate and give myself stuff away, because I will literally just put it in bins in the basement, forget that it's even there, never even wear it, but for some reason not get rid of it. So yeah, more recently I have been giving clothes away, and I'm actually going to give a call sometime this week to my friends who wants to come get some of the stuff that I have now. What's your advice for anyone feeling lost in their 30s? This is such a hard question, to be honest, because no one human being has like this perfect life in their 30s, 20s, 50s, 40s. So if you are feeling lost in your 30s, it's kind of like lost in what area, to be honest, because if you're feeling lost with yourself, like how I was feeling, I would try to find something that you are passionate about to bring you back to yourself. But it could be lost in a career, it could be lost in relationships. So I kind of really need to know lost in what way. But just generally speaking, feeling lost altogether in any area that you're lost in, you have to come back to yourself. I believe that once you are 100% happy with yourself, like you feel like you're doing everything that you need to do for your actual self, those areas that you feel lost in will kind of like fizzle out, and you'll be able to pinpoint more what you want to do. Because when you are not yourself, you're not good for anyone. And I know people say this all the time, and it's like, oh, it's a cliche, but it's 100% real. If you are not good or happy with yourself, there's no possible way that you can show up for anyone else, or even other areas in your life, like career, like being in relationships. You won't be able to show up because you yourself is just not there. So I don't even know if, to me, my advice wouldn't even be necessarily pinpointed towards your 30s. I just think in general in life, if you are not happy with yourself, change the things that you would like to change. It could be small, it can be big. You can start off with just talking to yourself better so that you can feel better. Find the things that you like to do and just literally put yourself first. Like, let your nose be your nose, like 100%, and stand firm on it. Because a lot of times, like, if this person who's asking this question is a person who was like me, who was like a yes girl and a people pleaser, you will get lost so much easier because you just don't know how to say no. And even when you say no in the present day, you still may even feel bad, but just stay firm on your nose. Like, if you don't want to do it, it could be something small or big. You don't. If it's not going to make you feel good, don't do it. Like, it doesn't matter who it is, just don't do it. So I don't know if I answered that question 100% or if that's what you were looking for. So if you're watching this video and that was your question, please, if you need more, if you want more like of a specific in-depth answer, just be a little bit more specific about what you mean by feeling lost. But put yourself first, because I had to learn to do that, and I do that present day. Like, when I tell you guys, no joke, if I do not want to do something, I literally won't. Like, I mean, obviously, unless if it comes to like working and certain things like that, but like, I won't. Like, my nose be no really, really hard, because I just have to, I gotta put me first, Lucius. Like, literally, I gotta put me first. So when did you pursue social media? I love your content. Thank you so much for loving my content. But I started about 2.5 to 3 years ago. I got serious about it more like 1.5 years ago, where I was posting more consistently. I started posting like my corporate outfits, because I was still going into the office at the time. And then people picked up on that and started to like it. And then I started to post like my weekend outfits and things like that. Honestly, when I first started posting content, like if you scroll to my oldest reels and my oldest TikToks, you will see I used to do like lifestyle, throw my clothes on the bed, pick it up. You see myself dressed in the mirror. I'm going downstairs. I'm making coffee. I'm making lunch. Like, kind of like those kind of like day in the life, no talking videos. Because those are the ones that I used to like. And then my friends, multiple friends of mine have said, hey, you need to talk. You need to show your face. Because I think that you would get more engagement. And then I did, and boom, it just skyrocketed off. When I first started, I was very nervous. I used to get a lot of comments like, oh, why don't you smile? Or you seem upset. I'm not upset. It's just that I was nervous. But now I'm a lot better. But anyway, yeah, I started a few years ago, and I got serious because I truly fell in love with it. Like, I always wanted to create content. I just didn't know how. Like, I was years ago used to watch YouTube in my YouTube era, just watching people do YouTube. Like, I want to do that so bad, but to me, I just felt like it wasn't the right time, and it wasn't. And then now, when I'm like, yes, when I had that feeling again, like, Nakiah, you want to do YouTube? That's what I decided to do. But yeah, I've always wanted to create content. And I used to do, like, I have an old YouTube channel called Multiple Ways Kitchen, where there's a few recipes on it and like a few vegan recipes on it. And though I like to record those kind of videos, it didn't feel like it was 100% myself. I was just kind of forcing it, and like, I was doing what I thought I could only do, but still posting. And so now you guys, of course, will see me do some food within my videos because it's a part of my life. I eat, but I don't think I would ever do just straight up food content again like how I did before. And I wasn't consistent, so it wasn't really nothing. It's like 5 videos on there, but that's like, I always wanted to do content. To rewind back to that, I always wanted to create content. I just knew that I wanted to do more like lifestyle and fashion, but it just took me some time to really get into my groove. But once I got into my groove, I just started and never stopped. And I'm never going to stop. So I'm going to be 85, 90, 100 years old talking about, hey y'all, outfit of the day. Okay? Period. Let's see. What is your 9-to-5 career? So I work in healthcare, corporate healthcare, and I do, how's the best way to explain this? Contracts. So I work in the sourcing department, contracts, and site implementation. So there's so many different like layers to my job. So as far as contracts, I work with vendors. I read over contracts. I make sure that the business is going to get everything it needs to get when we're bringing on new vendors and new companies to work with our company. I also do site implementation, which means that new hospitals or sites that we're opening, I will get assigned to 1 or 2 or 3, however many we're opening at the time, and I have to handle everything for it, meaning I gotta make sure all of the supplies is there to open up, like anything they need. So like if you walk into a hospital ER, for example, and you see the bed and you see the pictures on the wall and you see the band-aids, I have to make sure that sites have everything in it from start to finish, depending on what kind of site it is. If they're going to need medications, if they're going to need different type of things, requires different licenses that I have to make sure I obtain those, working with clinicians and doctors and all types of stuff. So healthcare field, that's the site implementation part about it. And sourcing is finding things. So like, say somebody says, hey, we no longer like this type of a band-aid. I'm gonna use band-aid as an example. This is too sticky, we don't like that. I have to go out and source and find new products that they may like better, to either test out, try it, or just go ahead and use, and then I offer it to my sites and my locations. So all in all, I work in supply chain in the site implementation, procurement, and sourcing realm. How I got into this is that I was a buyer. I used to work at a different healthcare company. Actually started off in IT, and I wanted to change, so I just applied to other positions, even things that I wasn't qualified for, but within my company they allowed me to start there, and I moved up. So I started as a buyer and I just worked my way up to where I am now. So if you're looking for entry-level positions and sourcing, just look for jobs. Look for buyer positions, and it doesn't have to be in healthcare. It could be in fashion, it could be in retail, it can be in a lot of different areas, but I just always, no matter what, everywhere I worked, it was always in healthcare. How do you maintain a healthy marriage? Please answer. My marriage is on the rocks. Now, I am not perfect, so I do not want to give any advice. I'm sorry to hear that your marriage is on the rocks, so I'm just going to give kind of more of like a general answer. I don't know how to answer this, guys, and I don't want to give any advice that may not work for you, but just pay attention to each other. Try your best to be considerate of the other person's feelings, while not losing yourself, because you never want to lose yourself. You always want to be an individual. So like the big thing when it comes to me and my husband is that we are individuals. We stand alone as individuals, and then we come together as 2 individuals. I am not dependent on him. He is not dependent on me. That man can wash his laundry and make dinner if he wants to. Obviously I can do the same. Like, of course there's things that he does that I don't want to do, and there's things that I do that he don't want to do, but we are very much so independent. Also, outside of that realm, we have friends that we hang out with together, but also that we hang out with separately. We literally have our own lives, because I don't want to be like, oh, like I hear people say, oh, all I need is my husband. He's my only friend. No, that's not me. I love my husband, but he's not all I need, because my identity is not a wife. Like, my only identity is not a wife. So therefore, it's impossible for me to only need him. So we have our own personal lives. That's what I mean by having identity. We have our own personal lives. Like, of course, I know his friends, he know my friends, and everybody respects each other, and we hang out from time to time together, and then we hang out separately from time to time. But we have our own lives. Hey, babe, I want to go out to eat with the girls. Go ahead. He's very supportive. He is no weirdness. There's no jealousies. There's no you can't go. There's none of that. There's, okay, babe, I got you. Oh, boo, I'm going to go and do this. All right, boo, have fun. That's literally how we operate. And then when we need to come together, hey, let's do date night. We come together. And that's how we operate. So we are individuals who are also friends, who are also married, who are also just like have this bond and a relationship together. And I'm not to say that we don't have any moments or hard times, because we do, because everybody does. Because as individuals, there's times where we get, you know, maybe annoyed with each other or frustrated with things, because it's life, but we still come together. But the most important thing that for me when it came to being married and in another relationship was to have my sense of self always, to be an individual, and for us to still to be able to come together. Like, I don't want to be in any relationship where somebody's telling me I can't go somewhere because they're jealous or they're scared or they're nervous, that it's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust the other person. No. I don't want to hear those words come out your mouth ever. Don't. Nope, don't. That's not me. And if that's and it's okay for people who don't mind those kind of relationships, because there's somebody for everybody. But for me, that's not what I'm doing. So yeah, our relationship is healthy because we're individuals first. We consider each other, but we're individuals. Okay. Somebody said, do you do corporate outfits? I used to do it so much so before, and I do need to get back into it. I'm going to have to charge my camera soon. I do need to get back into it because everybody asks me. So I think that maybe at least once a week I'll put out a corporate outfit. But the thing that I struggle with the most is that I don't want to have to buy corporate outfits because I don't go into the office anymore. And I barely have any office clothes. So for me to really be consistent with that type of a series, I have to buy a bunch of stuff, thus not having anything to do with it when I'm done with it, because I only go into the office or go travel for work maybe once a year or once every other year. So I don't need that much stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it difficult for me to be consistent with that. How do you stay organized being a mama for a full-time employee and full-time content creator? I don't like not being organized. That's how I stay organized. Like, I don't like it naturally. So it forces me to be organized. Maybe if I was okay with a little bit more, like with a little bit of disorganization, it would be harder for me to do it. But like, because I don't like being unorganized, it helps me to be organized. Like, I don't leave dishes in the sink. I don't go to sleep with my house dirty. Like, even though I have a cleaner come every other week, that's just like for deep cleaning. But like, I keep up with my daily. I have to make my bed every time I wake up. Y'all already know that. Like, I don't like mess. So when it comes to being organized, like, I know what the kids need. I know when they need it, and then I schedule my life around that. So if they're at school from this time of the day and I need to work, and then I know I have this window 2 hours to do this, I do it in those 2 hours. Like, so you basically just schedule your life around what's needed in that moment. Every day may look different, may not even look the same. Like, one day maybe 2 kids got doctor's appointments and things like that, and you need to go ahead and make sure they go to their doctor's appointments. So therefore you can't do, maybe I can't shoot content that time of the day like I usually would. But you basically just, if it's best for you, make a list and try to check off everything daily or weekly and see how you can schedule it around it. But the thing is with me, is that like, I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. Like, when it comes to content creating, sometimes I batch content create on like a weekend where I know it's nothing for the kids to do, and then I just put it out on those days. And I just know their needs. So if they have things to do at 2 o'clock or whatever the case is, maybe not 2 because I'm working, but like say 6, I know that at 6 o'clock I gotta be there. They need to eat by this time. I normally cook meals that last 2 days at least, so that one day I don't have to worry about what they're eating because it's something left over from the next day. So it's just like those type of things that help me out. But I think what helps me the most is that I hate to be unorganized, so that even if I'm tired, I'm still going to make sure everything's done so that I can have a better day when I wake up the next day. Oh, what is my zodiac sign? I am a Cancer. Cancer all day. June 22nd. I was born in 88. Your girl is aging like fine wine. Okay, period. Everybody think I'm like 20 years old. No, I'm not. I'm literally an auntie. Okay, I'm literally one of y'all aunties. All right. But yeah, y'all, that's basically it. Everybody asks me those kind of questions like, what do I do for work? How did I get into content creating? How do I become a content creator? The becoming a content creator is literally just posting your content and being consistent. Everybody makes jokes about like, oh, everybody says post the content. No, you do have to though. Like, how can you become a content creator if you don't post the content? You're not going to just post nonsense though. Like, you're not going to post you staring at your feet and just going like this, like, you know what I'm saying? But post quality content that you would actually like to watch, things that you truly enjoy doing, and then you be consistent. Like, don't post no one video every other week talking about my page not growing, or on Instagram wanting to grow on Instagram, but do the whole birthday pop outs and then expect yourself to grow. You're not going to grow doing a birthday pop out. Like, if you want to create content, you have to be consistent, posting multiple times a day on your stories, posting reels daily, posting pictures daily, if not daily, every other day, or at least 3 to 4 times a week, posting your reels and your TikToks on your YouTube shorts. If you want to do vlogs, post your vlog once a week. Like, you have to be consistent. That's the best advice I can give you. There's no magic science. It's one creator who could do something and blow up, and another creator can do the same thing way before the other creator and they don't blow up. Everything is tailored and personalized to yourself. Like, because we're individuals, everything is tailored to you. So whatever you like to do, create your content, be as authentic as possible, and be consistent. That's the best advice that I can give anyone, because there's no science or magic to it. You just have to do it. You also have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in God and ask God to give you the things that you are wanting, because I am big on prayer. I pray every single day, morning and night. Like, there's not a day that I miss praying. Sometimes I may fall asleep and I jump up out of my sleep and try to pray. I try my best to get some kind of prayer in, some days longer than others. But every day I thank God. I start off with that. I thank God for what I have. I thank God for what is to come. And I just pray, and I believe that everything that I want, God is going to give to me, because nothing that I want is evil or negative. So I feel like, why wouldn't it be given to me? So if you have a strong belief in God and believe that God is faithful and that you are also faithful to God, how can things not work out? Like, how can things not work out? You have to believe that these things are going to happen for you. You have to have belief in yourself and belief in God, and believe that God that will provide for you. Because let me tell you, this time last year my life wasn't like it was now. So I know that this time next year God is going to continue to do his big one with me, because I believe it. You understand? I have belief. I have full faith that everything is going to work out. Everything is going to work out because God is on my side. Like, I have God. Like, when you have God, you don't really need nothing else. Like, of course you got to believe in yourself, but you gotta believe in yourself, put in the work, and you gotta have faith that God will allow these things to happen for you. Because as you can hear, I didn't always have the things that I have, and there's people that had way more than me, and obviously less. But like, it was a time where I was washing dishes in the tub and I didn't have running water downstairs, or even electricity in my upstairs of my home for years, because I couldn't afford it. For years. But I never lost faith in God. No matter what I was going through, I always trusted and believed in God. I promise you. Like, literally, I could cry. I could literally cry talking to you guys about this, because I promise you, I never lost faith in God. I never lost faith in God. I may have lost faith in myself, and I have belief in myself, but I always had belief in God. So one day, when it was just like I was so tired of not having belief in myself, God has helped me have more belief in myself, because I never lost faith in him. So anyway, that's it. That's going to be the end of this vlog. Number one, because my camera is dying. And that's all the questions. So if you have more questions, please leave them in the comments below. We will do this again. But happy Vlogmas, and stay tuned for the video tomorrow. Bye.